hard transition to some on the block with the meat pack. That boy Karl up there. We're gonna talk a little basketball. One of the first things I want to talk about is I don't think the Jazz right now are getting a lot of love, brother. They got the number 1 seed right now in the West. I think one of the biggest reasons for that right now is, more or less just kind of a boring team. Donovan Mitchell, to me, I definitely would not call him a superstar. I would definitely say a star for sure.
He's on the way up there, bro.
He's on the verge. Definitely, he's proving that this season with his play and the record they have. But between him and Rudy Gobert, who obviously, defensive player of the years, whatnot, just a great big body down in the paint. Them two being those fringe all-star players, leading the forefront for that team. And then I just think they have the perfect cast of role players. I think Mike Conley has been one of the more underrated players in the league his whole entire career, especially playing on a team like Memphis where they don't really get covered like that. They got that boy Joe Ingles.
Joe Ingles is wetting it up this season, dude. And so did Jordan Clarkson, though.
They got that boy Bojan Bogdanovic, another white boy sharpshooter, little European cat. I don't know where he's from. But like I said, this team is just gelling right now. And I don't know if they keep it up for the whole year. Like I said, it definitely feels more like an underrated or underdog team. It kind of feels like the
Bubble vibes, dude. Bubble vibes.
Jimmy Butler. I wouldn't necessarily say Jimmy Butler is a superstar either, but he's up that upper echelon to where, Donovan Mitchell, Jimmy Butler, they're the forefronts. They have a great big man between Bam and fucking Rudy Gobert, and then just a great cast of role players to fit the team perfectly in their play style. And I mean, Utah Jazz have never really been a sorry team. They've always had a good record. We saw Donovan Mitchell's rookie year, him go into OKC and beat them in a playoff series, as a rookie when they had Russell Westbrook and Paul George. So I don't know. I just don't feel like I'm seeing enough respect put on the Jazz and this man Donovan Mitchell. Like I said, I don't know if they keep that up for the whole year, but out in the West, man, it's not easy to win basketball games in the West, but Jazz are figuring it out, man. And that boy Donovan Mitchell, Spider Mitchell is getting it done, bro. Like,
for sure. And think about this time last year, bro. This was the first COVID team. Rudy Gobert was in that locker room licking everyone's shit, dude.
Yeah.
So now look at him on top of everything. So shout out the Utah Jazz. I mean, I really do like Donovan Spider Mitchell. But like you said, it's just not quite crossed that barrier yet. But they're up there. And same thing with Rudy Gobert, dude. I got Rudy Gobert on my fantasy basketball team. He gets points, son.
Yeah, he gets points, gets blocks, get rebounds. He's a good player. Obviously, he was that broke the seal for the whole COVID thing.
Literally just in the locker room, just, what I'm saying? Yeah. Put it away, Rudy. Come on.
He was kind of acting a fool with that. I don't know. But we did kind of just mention the Heat, though, and talking about Jimmy Butler. And they've actually been kind of on a skid right now. They're sitting at 10-14. I think they're finally starting to warm up. They're not a very good basketball team without Jimmy Butler on the court.
Just brings that fire.
They just need that fire and that energy.
Even though they had that finals run, it's still a super young team. You know what I mean? A lot of inexperience, and having a guy like Jimmy Butler out there just kind of lead the charge is so essential to them.
Yeah, what Jimmy Butler doesn't necessarily make up for with skills, he makes up with those intangibles, man. Just leadership and fire and energy he brings that team. You got guys Duncan Robinson, Jimmy Neutron. I think that's what every team needs, bro. You need at least one white dude that can just shoot lights out, bro.
Five white boys, but they're not in sync.
That's the top, that's the missing piece to a championship team, bro. White boy, Kyle Korver types. But yeah, I know they're finally starting to warm up a little bit. And like I said, I don't know, things going on with the Nets and the Bucks and the Celtics right now.
The Nets, dude, they just can't play defense. I mean, we're looking at probably the best one of the best offensive teams ever assembled. And there's no defense. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I've been saying that for a minute, dude. They're just going to need some help. They're going to need to make something happen.
And they traded away from it. That's a point you were making weeks ago. They traded away their big men.
They did, and they really need to. I mean, this is a team where I think, I know they don't have a lot of picks going on, but they're going to have to figure some sort of package out. They need to go get a JaVale McGee or, possibly.
No, they don't. No, they don't.
No, they do, bro. They need a big body in the paint, a rim protector, bro. That's clearly not cutting it. When you're letting teams like Cleveland and stuff run up 140 points on you, that's just not a good look. You need a body in the paint. Like I said, James Harden and Kyrie Irving have never been one to really get in front of stopping anybody. Kevin Durant's always been a good blocker and a nice defense. He's got long arms for sure, but you got DeAndre Jordan as your center. That's not going to be able to cut it for 48 minutes. They need to go get JaVale McGee, Dwight Howard, one of those guys like that, dude that only is going to play probably 12 to 16 to 18 minutes, that can just come in at a crucial time when they need to get some stops going. But I mean, I do like some of the pieces the Nets have. Obviously, Joe Harris, white boy sharpshooter. I'm telling you, Timothy Luwawu Carabo, whatever the fuck his name is, TLC. I am a big fan of him. They do have another cat, I think, at guard that is a defensive specialist that is very good at what he does. What the hell? Enough. What's that boy's name? I don't know, but it isn't enough. And I mean, listen, I'm not saying the Nets are going to be bad at all. They're still going to win a shit ton of games. Still
top 5 seeds for sure
in the conversation. They're still going to have all the chance to run up a championship. But when you got to go out there and score 140 points tonight like that, you get tired, man. Like I said, it's so easy between them because one of those guys could have a bad night. You got 2 other all-world players to kind of pick up the slack, but like I said, dude, we're seeing games where, like I said, with Cleveland, you're letting guys like Colin Sexton run up a 40-piece on you, which I'm not saying Colin Sexton isn't that good, but you know what I'm saying? You got to be able to come in, shut that down, and assert some dominance. Like I said, I don't know, dude. If you get a Nets, Nets got to meet the Sixers in the first round. Like, who's stopping Joel Embiid? Like,
no one.
You know what I'm saying? Joel Embiid's on fire right now. I don't know who's going to be able to put the mitts on him. DeAndre Jordan, maybe to a degree, but you're just not going to be able to stop that. Guys like Giannis that just dominate the paint, you're not going to be able to stop that. I've been on this for a while, and like I said, they're obviously not going to blow things up and whatnot. But I'm sitting at a point where, man, Kyrie Irving could probably get you a real nice package or something, and that's not anything against Kyrie.
You had to get rid of one of the 3, KD, the beard, or Kyrie. You're getting rid of Kyrie.
Is Kyrie. I'm taking James Harden and Kevin Durant all day. Like I said, nothing personal against Kyrie because he can go out and get his. But, I still do think James Harden should be the point guard on that team, should have the ball in his hands. I think he's a better playmaker than Kyrie. Kyrie can't obviously score. But
imagine if Kyrie would just come off the bench, bro.
It would never happen.
They'd be elite. Imagine.
Would for sure. Definitely would never happen. But like I'm saying, you could get a fat fucking package for him, dude. You could get some picked backs. You could get yourself maybe, a swap with a point guard and a big man. Teams would give up a lot.
Well, I'm sure they're going to start to acquire some assets as it gets further in the season. That's just kind of how these things go. Once you see the team sort of start to shape up, they're going to try to build up for that postseason run.
See, I mean, yeah, true. My thing, I'm just afraid of they gave up too much. I don't know what they trade to that. You'd be looking at having to get rid of Joe Ingles or some of these bench guys. I mean, their bench is already depleted as it is. Obviously for what they had to acquire from. If they had Spencer Dinwiddie right now, I think the Kyrie Irving thing would make a lot more sense. If Spencer Dinwiddie was healthy right now, if I'm Brooklyn, I'm trading away Kyrie. I want more bench and pieces. Because right now, like I said, they're super top heavy, and like I said, they can score. They're still going to be all right, but come playoff time, man, when the game really slows down, they're going to have to be able to make some stops. And I know they won just the other night, but they've lost 3 or 4 in a row, man, because teams are just running out buckets on them. But I mean, I think they're going to be all right. They're going to figure something out. Like I said, I'm telling you, I definitely see them. It's been rumored they are interested in getting JaVale McGee. Between JaVale McGee and Dwight Howard, I think they do need to go get one of them guys, just stand there in the paint, block some shit. And then, I don't know, guys are going to burn you on the perimeter. They're going to burn you on the perimeter. Sometimes shots just go in. Can't really do much about that. But like I said, between Kyrie, he's not really helping anything. I know James Harden in the past couple of years, numbers-wise and defensive use of rating has stepped up his defense for sure. He's definitely not elite and never will be elite, but has definitely made more of an effort. Kyrie just kind of low-key stands out there. You can blow by Kyrie with no problem. But I don't know. Favorites to get out the East? Like, I don't know. I really got to think of it now, man, to like get to the finals. I think that's really going to be a big factor. Like I said, regular season, they could have the best record, but come playoff time, man, if you gave me a 7-game series, I think Philly beats them.
Philly, yeah, dude. I agree with you. I'm so high on Philly, dude. Joel Embiid's pretty much front runner of this MVP race right now.
Yeah, no, he is. That was the other thing I want to talk about. Front runners for the MVP. Joel Embiid obviously is just going dummy right now this season. You know what I'm saying? And I know me and you have talked before a lot about the dynamic between him and Embiid. And obviously, to me, Embiid has potential to be one of the best players in the league, like top 3. He really is that dude. I like Simmons. And obviously, they're playing great together this year. Tobias Harris is making an argument for fringe all-star right now. I know Ben Simmons just had a season high night the other night. He had like 25 or something like that. He's been balling. But yeah, man, they're just feeding the big boy down in the post. I tell you what, if Joel Embiid decides to just back down the post and hit that post-up game, there's nothing you can do about that. He's just unstoppable. Dude's just going to put a body on you, give you a couple fades, couple hooks, and then he can pop out on that line and hit that 3. I mean, that's the most dangerous part is if something's not working, if they need to space the floor, whatever kind of set they're running, Joel Embiid can hit the occasional 3. And so that's a deadly team, man. The more I look at Philly and what Joel Embiid is doing specifically, that's a scary team to deal with. Like I said, I don't know if the Bucks have an answer for him. I don't know if Brooklyn's going to have an answer. Certainly the Celtics, I don't. The Celtics I worry about too because they don't really have any big men down in the middle either. I like the 3-man combo between Walker, who's been kind of slumping lately. They definitely need Kemba Walker to step up. But Jason Tatum is becoming a superstar. Jaylen Brown, great player. But they need a big boy up in the paint too, because Daniel Tice, let me tell you something.
Marcus Smart.
Marcus Smart, who's phenomenal.
Flopper.
Perimeter defender. Yeah, flopper too. He is a great perimeter defender, all defense NBAs, multiple years. But, what I'm saying, regular season, you can get away with a lot. You can mask a lot, cover up a lot. Like I said, during the playoffs, dude, in a 7-game series, the game slows down so much. That's why we saw teams like Houston and stuff that ran kind of that offense and that James Harden was doing. Just doesn't really work in the playoffs. You're doing 7-second or less offense like that. It just doesn't really play. Teams slow things down and definitely run more plays and look to play from inside out. Which I think when I look at Philly and how they've constructed their team, getting Danny Green, getting Seth Curry, to me, that team's low-key built right now to make a fucking finals appearance. Like I said, I don't know who they see in the East because I got to talk about this boy LeBron right now. This man LeBron right now is coasting. LeBron could easily, if the season stopped right now, and LeBron was the MVP, that's 100% reasonable too. That dude.
Yeah, no, I agree. Right now, I got 3 guys up there. I got Joel, I got the Joker, Jokic up there, and LeBron's the 3rd. I mean, but between them, it's kind of just a wrap. I actually think Jokic is favorited right now over Embiid. I think he has higher percent, looking at NBAawards.com. But
I mean, Nikola Jokic is on pace right now to average a triple-double. Like I said, I think he's leading.
Average a triple-double as a center big boy.
As a center, I mean, I think he's leading the league in assists right now. Like you said, from the center position is crazy to think of. And you take one look at Joker and not think he was a basketball player. Dude looks like anything but.
He looks like he sells 40s and then does security outside the club. But for real,
that's exactly what he looks like. But dude just knows how to play the game of basketball. And like I said, fucking Denver is just kind of also on those teams, bro. They just got great role players that all play their roles so well. This man Jamal Murray and Gary Harris and such. So it is between those 3 right now: Embiid, Jokic, LeBron James. And to think LeBron James right now at 36 years old is averaging 40 minutes a game, which is the most he's ever averaged in his career up to this point, and has played in all 26 the Lakers' 26 games. Which is crazy to me because I'm over here thinking, they obviously won the championship and only got a couple months off. To me, I just bet LeBron probably didn't even stop. Dude just probably took a week to relax.
You're 100% right, but I think he's conscious. He knows where he's ranking all time statistically. We're talking about points. We're talking about 3-pointers, field goals made, literally every category. He knows he's in the running to literally be the best ever. So I think he's just at work again this year, and we're seeing that. Like you said, they're literally taking no time off, trying to get as many minutes as possible. I mean, he's just trying to cement himself. He's got probably another 5-year run here, and then it's probably going to be it for him. I mean, it's kind of crazy to see what's going on here. I mean,
well, if he can keep up what he's doing right now for at least 2 after this season, at least 2 more years, yeah, he's going to be in the lead of all those categories. He statistically,
and he knows that.
He would need to pretty much do what he's doing right now for the next 2 years to pass up Kareem, on the points, which is obviously, yeah, of course, yeah, he definitely does know that, super aware of it. That's why we're starting to see him take so many threes and whatnot. But just the thing, man, dude's 36 years old. We never seen anything like that. Average 40 minutes a game. Dude is just not taking any time off. You know what I'm saying? That dude probably took 1 week to chill out. I was like, hey, if we're about to just roll this thing back in 2 months, I'm not gonna move. I'm just gonna keep moving, act like the season never ended. But like I said, I hope nothing comes to his health wise or anything. That all that punishment he's putting on his body, but I don't know. We'll see, man. I got LeBron.
All that wine, dude. LeBron's been on a big wine kick
I
right
got
now.
Lakers running up a chip though, when all said is done.